Are we having a party here? I don't know.
Welcome to Polishing Profits. Join our 3 industry experts boasting 140 years of experience as they unlock building service contracting secrets that can revolutionize your business.
Well, if it isn't a new year, and I know you're never supposed to say that if you're in radio or on video, just because that time stamps this to it's the new year. So I'll obey half the rule and I won't tell you what year. So we can play this again next year and you won't know. That's what they teach you in radio and podcasting.
We're recycling.
Yes, we're mean and we're green and we're lean. I don't know, something like that. We get a lot of questions when we're working with people, when people are talking to us about engaging with us as consultants. And just some folks say, well, why are you guys doing this? You've all had your businesses, you've all sold them, you're done. Well, we're not done with life. There's part of why we're doing it. And so today, we're just going to collectively answer the question why we're doing this, what our reasoning and thinking is, and what we hope to provide in this coming 12 months, and also guidance from you, what you'd like to see. So Sharon, I'm going to let you start, and then I'll go, and then Ed will let you roll up things, all right?
Sounds good. Well,
all right. Why are we taking our time and doing this? Why are we putting in 15 hours a month to get all this stuff done?
Besides the fact that we have a great time together, we do a lot of laughing that the audience doesn't hear about. A lot of things that the audience can't hear about. And otherwise, one of us in particular would be in a lot of trouble, but we won't name names.
Well, the people that would go to jail in this order are Ed 1, me 2, and you never. Okay. If we have the back rolls or the behind the scenes, the BTS right. Stuff. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah. So I have a background in teaching and education. Way before my life in the cleaning industry. And it makes me very happy to be able to give people some advice and some instruction and some knowledge based on my experience and my background, see them actually do what I recommend and have the result come out that we all want. That gives me a great deal of satisfaction. So this is a vehicle for doing that. And the only downside to this is that I don't get to see the result of what happens when people put together what we're talking about and what advice we give or experiences. It isn't always advice. It's say, hey, I got really messed up doing this one year, and I don't recommend that you do it. So that's a form of advice, but sometimes we're teaching by our mishaps. And that's the best way to learn, is when you make a mistake, it's really not a mistake. It's a learning experience. And I think we do a lot of that here. We do a lot of giving back to the community, sharing our information and our knowledge, and hoping that people have something to take away and get some laughs.
Ed, what?
Well, yeah. That sounds very admirable. You know, I mean, I'm just knocked out, Sharon.
I'm sure you are.
Why am I doing this?
Now, after that comment and making you wonder what Ed meant, that's why he's going to jail first.
Yes.
Everything he says has 3 or 4 meanings.
Yeah.
I like to teach. I have taught in a number of different venues. Okay. I loved high school, Sunday school. That was my favorite. Okay. Mm-hmm. And part of it is to share what I can to improve the industry. You know, I'm not one of the people that are going to tell you that I'm going to change the whole industry. You know, I love those guys.
They're a treat, aren't they? They're usually wrong.
Industry, really. Well, there's 5 of them. I mean, you know, you guys are going to have to get in a ring and fight it out, you know. That's right. Okay. So I do like to teach. I do enjoy it. Okay. I've been told I'm good at it. And then secondarily, in the interest of truth and transparency, I'm just a whore. I'm looking for work. Okay.
There you go. Oh, aren't we all?
Yeah. You know, I love to do proposals. I love to do strategy situations. I love to do systems and processes because, I've squirreled away a couple of solid state drives full of information from all the different places. But I enjoy it. And then the other one that's already been mentioned is we have a lot of fun, the three of us.
Yeah.
We do.
Well, I think collectively, Ed, you and I have known each other, 15 years? And Sharon, I think I've known you 8 already.
Yes. And I've known.
We passed in the night at BSCAI a few times when you were leaving and we were there, but yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed and I've worked for each other off and on as well. It's been a lot of fun. I think I'll be upfront like Ed. Yes, it's obvious that if you have a need, we'd like you to call us. Let's all altruism aside, there's always hey, this is a good way to get content out there and let people know that we do have some ideas for them. Are we the last word? Nah. But are we always right? No. But my goal is very similar. If you can find one thing out of the 20 minutes we do that helps you, we'll never know. But that to me is successful. And I know when we coach people, one small thing can make a difference. It's like a skills coach in sports. One small thing, you come back and say, that changed this. I kept my people longer. I kept a customer. We got more customers because of it, and help people rethink what they're already thinking about. Like this is like a giant sounding board. Again, people aren't really feeding us the question. We get all of our questions from all the people we talk to and work with. And again, I like to coach. I've done it my whole life. I've taught, coached all the way through my church experiences, like I said, Sunday school. I did the adult side. I couldn't handle the kids. They got me out of that. But the adult education. And when you stop and think of all of us, that's all we did to build companies. We couldn't go and buy software. So we had to work through all of this. We had to build all of our systems, all of our processes, all the stuff you see in Sims or ISO or what. We were doing that. It might not have been as neat and clean. But how can we help somebody? And I think the greatest thing is, somebody says, yeah, I like the podcast. Why do you like it? I get something out of it. And I mean, even if you only get something out of 1 every 4, we've done what we came here to do. And where else can you get 160 years of experience? And we've probably all collectively lost more money than we ever made. Ed, you're ready to say something and I stepped on it. Where were you going?
No, I think that the entire issue of stopping people from doing things that we know for a fact are a mistake would be one major thing. And look, I'm happy if there's anybody at all that I can save a little bit of heartache. I mean, that's kind of a nice thing to do, with these limited amount of years that we got here,
The end of our tarmacs at the short end of the takeoff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The runway is shrinking.
Yeah. Well, and
Elvis tickets are on the way.
Yeah, I just hope mine doesn't come for a couple more years. Okay, Sharon, where were you going?
I think it's a way for us to get information out that's relevant, because in our coaching that we all do, we come across some very common problems and issues. Those are the ones that we like to make a topic around and make a broadcast around. We feel that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people are all experiencing the same thing at different places in their business. It's important to get that out. It's a common problem.
Yeah. Well, one thing I appreciate in a big way of the three of us, you're the only one that actually had any professional training as a teacher. So
that's true.
I mean, that means something to me, So.
Yeah, Sharon actually knows how to do it. To do a lesson plan, get somebody from me to graduate them and move them on. Ed and I have just been doing up the seat of our pants for so long, we get lucky occasionally. Yeah. I'd say the other thing for me is I had a lot of people give to me coming up, that shared information. We didn't have this format, obviously. You had to be at a ISSA meeting, a BSCAI, and those were few in between. Those meetings used to be 2 or 3 a year, and now you've got just a ton of meetings from different people, different sources running these things. So it's a way to just put the things out there. So I just feel obligated when I can. And this is a great way to get the information out, because I had a lot of people pour a lot into me that changed how I did my business and my work. And that not just industry, that's outside the industry. Because I've mentioned, I've always had mentors, coaches ever since I started in this business, since I was 18.
Well, and it's like it's like a mini networking session. Okay, you're getting to talk to 3 people about the same topic, and we're pulling from years of experience, good, bad, or ugly experience, and giving you all of that, giving the audience all of that information. Where can you get that?
Well, one other point is that, look, I made a living in this industry, put 3 kids through private school, and I would love to be able to give something back, particularly since it's not over when I'm gone. You know, my son is very solidly in the industry, which I'm tickled to death with, and the young people that I've met, through the internet and so forth, I would love to see them succeed. It would just be such a treat to see them succeed. It really would, for no other reason except they won. Love to see people win.
Yeah, that's great.
I think anybody doing what we're doing wants to see people win, or you wouldn't do it. I mean, there's other people that do it for other reasons, because consulting, coaching, advising covers a wide spectrum. But I think from our perspective, that's a good summation. We want to see other people win. And you think the cost of going to school is expensive. Wait till you get the lesson when you lose a lot of dollars in contracts or people quit out of nowhere. That's when you pay attention. That's when the lessons sting.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a C instead of a B. And I've not got nothing against school. I did all that stuff, but C instead of a B, somebody cancels a third of your business, you're rethinking things in a hurry. Yeah. You want to know what you need to do to improve. And we've all been through this collectively. We've lost hundreds of millions, I'm sure, between all of us over the 160 years. And we advise you not to do that. How's that for a piece of advice?
Or understand that is the reality of our business.
Yes.
That there is a clock ticking. When you sign a contract, there is a clock ticking about how long that contract is going to stay in force. And so there's just about everything that you get is going to wind up canceling at some point. Okay. Yep. And then what? Well, we're not going to fold up like a cheap suitcase. Okay. We're just going to move on. Let's move on.
Well, that's because we're signing up enough each month to grow us, to cover whatever our loss rate is and to move our company forward.
Yeah.
And if we're not, then we have to rethink that. And we've all been in the position. I lost a third of my business once. And guess what I had in the sales bucket? Road apples, steer manure. I can still remember sitting at my desk looking at that in a full-blown panic.
Well, that was when I figured out this 10%, that no one account should be more than 10% of your total revenue.
Exactly.
And so when you get a big account, the first thing you do is go get another one.
Yep. Well, that was my wake-up call, my apocalypse, call it what it want. But I'd like to say I didn't make that mistake again, but I never made it at the 30% level. So,
well, my thought is this. If you've got an account that's 20, 30, 40, or 50% of your business, when that one cancels, that's going to change your life, okay? Everybody can take a hit for 10%, though.
Yeah, and move on.
You're not going to die. It's not going to kill you.
Right.
So the other question that we'd like to get some feedback from the audience would be, what would you like to hear us talk about? What, we've got comment sections, and I know people don't get involved. They listen and they run. But seriously, we're putting together our next 12 months of topics. We've got some of it. If you want to hear us talk about something, and it doesn't have to necessarily be cleaning related, as long as it's business related, we'd like to get it on and would like to give you our opinion on it. So if you've got some ideas, hit us up.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, that's 16 minutes of why we do this. Do we have anything else for the good of the order? Shall we let it go at that? And
it was pure brilliance. And if we don't stop it now, they're going to overdose.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I was going to make a political comment, and that would have put me in jail. Okay. You've noticed me looking out here thinking.
Very dangerous, too. That's why you have the jail police.
Yeah. Well, that's why they have jail for comments that I make. Okay. But Ed's still the king of that. He's got a thicker skin than I do. He goes where angels fear to tread.
Well, I got a quarter of my time on Facebook was in jail, so.
You've even got put in jail on LinkedIn, which is hard to do.
I did, yeah. I've been thrown in jail on LinkedIn. Yeah.
I think that's it. We're looking forward to helping, serving the community BSC community any way we can in the next few months. Feel free to reach out to us. If you don't like what we're saying, tell us. If you think we're full of steer manure, tell us. Matter of fact, if you think we're full of steer manure, come on, let's have a discussion.
2024 is a gift.
Yep.
Yes.
So, you know,
Absolutely.
now the only question is, can we get to the end? Can we get to the
We
end of the
can.
year? You know, so,
We can.
So like the 12 days of Christmas, every month's a present. You're going to open one and see what's going on, right?
there you
Yeah.
go.
All right. So be sure to listen to
Polishing.
Polishing profits.
good. Two of the three know what we're doing here. Okay.
Not-
Be sure to pick up polishing profits.
Yeah, not washing cars.
Yeah.
No.
Or
We're the ones
polishing
we're not washing.
something else. Yes, I understand. So anyway, we'll talk to everybody soon. With that said, adios. We'll see you in the next podcast.
Bye.
Take
It
care,
was fun. Take care, guys.
guys. Bye bye.